So, have you ever seriously thought about what it takes to take a business from right here in Bangladesh and put it on the world map? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that whole process. We're breaking down the entire journey from a local workshop to global success.
You know, you've probably poured your heart and soul into making a fantastic product, something you know can go toe-to-toe with anything out there. But here's the question that really matters, the one that can stop you in your tracks. Is your business ready to go global? Because that's a whole different ballgame. And listen, the timing could not be better. For so long, the story of Bangladesh's exports was all about ready-made garments. And that's a huge success story. But now, a whole new chapter is being written. The entire export landscape is changing. It's diversifying like crazy. And that means new doors are swinging open for all kinds of businesses. I mean, what's so amazing is just how wide-ranging this growth is. Just look at this list. We're talking about everything from beautiful leather goods and classic jute products to high-tech pharmaceuticals and even cutting-edge ICT services. This isn't just one industry having a good year. This is the whole economy transforming. It's incredible.
Okay, but here's the reality check, and every aspiring exporter needs to hear this. Having that world-class product, well, that's just the starting line. The road from your factory floor to a happy customer overseas, it is long and it's filled with twists and turns that can trip up even the best of us.
And that brings us to a really important question. Look, you're the expert on your product, right? But are you also an expert on international shipping, foreign customs rules, cross-border payments? Trying to do all of that by yourself? Honestly, it's like trying to find your way through a maze with a blindfold on. And wow, what a labyrinth it is. Just think about it for a second. How do you figure out what customers want in a country you've never been to? How do you make sure you meet all their specific standards? Then there's the paperwork. Every single box has to be ticked. And maybe the biggest hurdle of all, finding buyers you can actually trust, and then making sure you get paid safely and on time. Any one of these things can bring the whole deal crashing down.
All right, so if that's the giant mountain of challenges, what's the solution? How do you possibly bridge that huge gap between what you do great locally and what the global market demands? Well, the answer is in a resource that's powerful, but, not always well understood. It's something called export facilitation services. Now, that sounds a bit formal, I know, but this isn't just about getting a little advice here and there. It's a full-on support system. It's designed to tackle every single one of those challenges we just talked about. The whole point is to take a process that feels chaotic and turn it into something smooth, predictable, and systematic.
The best way to picture it is as a bridge. Seriously, on one side, you've got your business with your amazing product and all this untapped potential. And way over on the other side, that's your global success. These services, they're the bridge that connects the two. They make that journey across not just possible, but actually safe and secure.
So how does this bridge actually get built? Well, it's not some kind of magic trick. It's a really clear step-by-step process. We've actually broken it down into a simple 3-step toolkit that any business can follow to go from thinking about exporting to actually succeeding at it. Okay, step 1. This is all about laying a super strong foundation. Before you spend a single taka, you need a serious, honest look in the mirror. That's the export readiness assessment. It checks if you're really ready. Then, instead of just guessing where to sell, you use real data from market research to find that perfect fit country. And finally, you make sure your product, your packaging, everything meets their standards so you don't get a nasty surprise at the border. Right, once that foundation is solid, step 2 is all about making the right connections. This is where you go out and find real international buyers. And just as importantly, you vet them to make sure they're reliable. You'll figure out exactly how to price your product for export so you're competitive but still making good money. And, so important these days, you build an online presence that just screams professionalism. And then we get to step 3. This is where the rubber meets the road. Flawless execution. It's all in the details. It means every single piece of paperwork is perfect. It means your logistics are so smooth that delivery happens on time every time. And, maybe most importantly, it means the financial side is structured so you get paid, securely and without any drama. This is how you build a rock-solid reputation.
Okay, so we've talked about the what and the how, we have the toolkit, but for most businesses, the biggest question left is the who. Who is actually going to guide you through all of this? This is where having a real partner in your corner becomes a total game changer. A firm like Trade and Investment Bangladesh, or TNIB, they don't just give you advice, they act as your guide.
They actually implement this whole three-step toolkit with you, from day one all the way to getting that payment confirmation. They're basically the engineers who build your bridge to the world. And look, don't just take my word for it. The proof is in what their clients say. Listen to this feedback from a CEO in Canada who worked with them. He uses words like quality execution, ethical practice, and calls them a reliable partner. In international trade, words like reliable and trust, they're worth their weight in gold. That's the kind of confidence a good partner gives you.
So, if you remember one thing from all of this, let it be this. Exporting successfully from Bangladesh isn't a lottery ticket. It's not an accident. It is a planned, deliberate, systematic process. It's about having a smart strategy and the right partner to help you execute it perfectly, turning all that potential into real, measurable success.
So, as we wrap up, it really all boils down to this. Forget about all the complex details for just 1 second and ask yourself a simple question. Knowing that there's a roadmap and knowing that there are guides to help, are you ready to take that first big step on your global journey? Because the world is out there and it's waiting for what you have to offer.